Owen Barder in Bucharest, 15th of May 2012. If you were to become the personal advisor of the Prime Minister again tomorrow, what advice would you give him in terms of innovation and international development? One piece of advice.
I think the one piece of advice I would give him or her, if she was somebody that I was asked to advise about international development, would be to look very hard at how rich countries, the powerful institutions, affect the developing world. We often talk about what rich countries can do in developing countries in terms of giving aid and supporting change and progress. But we often neglect the very many ways in which rich countries affect poor countries. So things like migration, trade policy, climate change, intellectual property, arms sales, all these things have profound effects on poor countries. And I think, a busy minister in any government has only got a certain amount of time to spend on development, only a certain amount of political capital to spend. And I'd rather they spend a bit more thinking about the impact of, say, Britain in the world and how that affects poor countries, and perhaps a bit less time, a bit less focus on things like the aid programme.
Thank you. What about the global community that is working in international development? How should we perceive innovation right now? Is there a new trend? Is there something that we should know more about innovation? Is there something where we could innovate in thinking about innovation in international development?
I think one of the things we're learning is that development is a process of evolutionary change in developing countries, in the way that economies, societies, industries, people and cultures evolve together. And innovation clearly plays a really important role in that. It's through innovation that we get this kind of change. And what we have to think harder about is what we can do to support innovation. And not only support the innovation itself, but support mechanisms which ensure that as change happens, the society is able to shape the evolutionary process. So a lot of societies that haven't seen much progress in development have really been held back by the existence of powerful elites who control resources in the economy and who are resistant to change. And I think one of the most important challenges that we face is trying to understand how we can work with those countries, whether we can work with those countries, to try to make those societies able to become more open, more plural, and more likely to change in ways that really benefit all the people in that society and not just an elite.
And one last question. You had the privilege to meet Kapuscinski in person. Why do you think the Kapuscinski development lectures are beneficial for knowing more about international development and to move forward the international development debate?
That's right. As a teenager, I met Kapuscinski, and I think he stands for something that's been very important. He was a Polish development writer. He was a journalist who wrote about what was happening in developing countries, and he really captured a spirit about a kind of interest in other people and learning from other people. One of the great chroniclers of our age, and I think he inspired a lot of young people to pay more attention to and be more interested in what was happening overseas. So he's a great emblem for what the Kapuscinski lectures are all about, which is to inspire interest in development so that more people are thinking about these issues and engaging with them around Europe.
Thank you.